The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are not necessarily representative of the coalition or any other entity. This content is intended for mature audiences only.
What's going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 126. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Brett Murdock.
Howdy, folks.
Adam Vale.
Boy.
And we got a very, very special guest tonight, Mr. Gary Swaby.
Hey, how's it going? Good to be here.
All right, man, this is going to be a great show. All right, first of all, I want to apologize for everyone who isn't seeing my sexy face right now. Some bullshit was going on with my camera. I don't feel like fucking around with my computer, digging up back there and replugging it and shit. So no Tony tonight. So I apologize about that. You just hear the voice.
Yo, man, they all sad. What am I? Yeah. What me and Adam and Brett are the only ones on video now.
Oh, I'm gonna cut out video when I start eating. Just to be...
You got to do that. You got to do that Manny trick, though, man. You know.
Yo, man, I just dipped a little low. You see, like this, I just look like I'm looking at my desk. As long as I'm not going,
Oh God! Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Chicken grease. Oh, chicken
grease. What is this? Chicken?
Oh, don't choke on that chicken bone, son.
Oh, am I taking saffron in here?
Frog legs. I want to give a quick shout out to my man G Megaforce for winning the contest, people. You know, so he's the first winner. We're gonna hopefully have another winner by the end of tonight. So we're gonna
I think this one's gonna be harder.
Yeah. So we're gonna give you a copy of Super Mario Brothers: How Nintendo Conquered the World. Manny, I'm gonna send you the picture in a little bit so you could just throw it up on the screen when we're ready. So it'll be funny. I was like, Adam, man, you step it up, son, because these motherfuckers, these dudes know their shit. As a matter of fact, they got that answer. Not only did they get it right, they got it super right because they used the original name of the shit.
So from the one that I sent you, did you know about the new one?
I never. I know. I didn't even know that fucking game either.
See, there you go. So then that.
But I didn't know the last game either, and these motherfuckers got it. You know. Shout out to the Throwdown fans, man. You guys are legit.
That's true. That's true. You know their history.
So, yeah, exactly. All right, man. I don't want to waste any time with this shit. Let's get into our main topic here. Mass Effects. All right. So Mass Effect Andromeda dropped finally after all this time, and most of us have played it here, so we're going to give you our impressions. So I want to give the floor right now to my man.
This is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, man, just keep.
That's not in the game.
Yeah. So I want to, first I want to give the floor to my man Gary. I don't want to embarrass you right now, but I got to keep it honest, bro. You wrote such a beautiful fucking editorial about this game, man, like explaining like how the game brings back that sense of wonder and awe and shit that the first game had. I'm like, yes, man. Like I had written my own editorial and I focused on a bunch of other things because, we'll get into it more later, but a lot of people were, hating on the game and I'm playing. I'm like, yo, this game is fucking dope. What are you guys talking about? But like you've really zeroed in on that one aspect. And I feel that's important because that to me is why I like this game so much. It makes me feel like I'm playing the very, very first Mass Effect once again. It's fucking amazing, man. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
Oh yeah, well, first of all, thanks for the flattery, but that article was definitely inspired by yours because when I saw yours, I was like, well, at least somebody's like spreading the positivity about Mass Effect Andromeda instead of focusing on the negative aspects. So then, I definitely wanted to write.
That's right. Yeah, like I was thinking about like, yo, should I add in some negative shit? I'm like, nah, man, everybody's already talking about that. Let me just focus on the positives. You know,
that's all they're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let me just be the counter to this shit. Being that I have a nice platform for it, and you do too, obviously, Gary. So I'm glad we're out there. Obviously it's our opinions, but I'm glad there's a counter to it. You can't just be saying the same fucking shit. It gets boring after a while. But anyway,
man, the faces is wrong, man.
The whole game sucks. All right, so yeah,
You know,
I don't
I
get.
mean,
I don't see it.
about that sort of thing. You know, the one thing about it is that I think people have bird memory when it comes to these games. They have always had fucked up like faces and shit. Like especially when you went to like the side characters. Sometimes I mean, you remember when like friggin' like a Mass Effect 2 like Shepard's head would twirl around.
Yeah.
Because
we're gonna get
always,
get into that because one of the animators from Naughty Dog who used to work on the original Mass Effect games, he explained what's going on here in a really technical breakdown, which we'll get to. But anyway, Gary, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I'm loving the game so far. Like just earlier, I was playing the game and I noticed I'd already put in like 11 hours, and it totally didn't feel like that at all. But yeah, I'm loving the game. Like you said, it's a lot like playing the first Mass Effect again. You know, I hold those first 3 games in high regard. So like it was definitely great to revisit the world again. And I wasn't like, honestly, with everything going on, I wasn't expecting too much. Like my expectations had been lowered. But as I continued to play Andromeda, I was, you know, becoming more and more surprised by how actually rich it is with content and depth. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. I mean, if I have one major gripe, it's that I haven't seen a Quarian yet, and I'm not sure I will see a Quarian. And that was like one of my favorite races in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm loving the whole exploration aspect of it. Yeah, some of the dialogue might be a bit cringeworthy, but I think the exploration and you know all the the quests and everything you're able to do on the planets just makes up for it. And this is definitely like the number one space exploration game. You know, the game that I've been kind of waiting for a long time.
Yeah, man. Fuck No Man's Sky, man. Mass Effect. Man.
I don't think anybody was comparing the two.
It's
Yo,
funny
hold
that
on.
Gary
Yeah.
said that like
go ahead.
the dialogue was cringe-worthy. I was about to like quote the game on some like the dumbest thing that like happened, but it's a super spoiler, so I won't say it. But yeah, I echo everything.
Dialogue also it lacks emotion. You know, it's like there's certain scenes where it's like everyone else is screaming stuff around, and then you pick your option, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do that." What's the actor like in a different room? Did he not see in captions show emotion next to it or anything?
The first Shepard had that problem.
Like first Shepard had that problem. That's why everybody liked the female Shepard because she actually had emotion.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but by the way, I don't know if you saw that part, Gary, but they actually explained what happened with the Quarians. Like they essentially decided to ship out at a later date because they wanted to bring the Hanar and all those other races with them, you know. So I'm just assuming they got held up in traffic. You know.
But will we actually
that's DLC.
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't sound like DLC at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is DLC actually. Oh, the Quarians are here, you know. But yeah, Carlos, what were you gonna say about the game, man?
Yeah, I read Gary's article, and it like I agree with everything. It's something that I also like found about it is it's kind of like a little bit of Battlestar Galactica in a way.
Yeah.
Planet and stuff.
Yeah, they're leaving. They're trying to find a planet to settle. They're trying to see like what's habitable and stuff like that. I was like, oh shit, this is like Battlestar Galactica. It's like getting like all the things, like, you know, it's already had like the Star Trek stuff and Battlestar. These are like my 2 favorite sci-fi series of all time. And yeah, man, the game's pretty good. I haven't gotten too far deep into it. I'm still like, I've played like maybe 3 or 4 hours of it, and I'm still in the Nexus because I'm just freaking talking to people all the time.
Yeah,
so
man.
like I haven't done anything other than that. I did the first part. Yeah, I agree. The dialogue is kind of cringeworthy at times. The animations are not that good. And yeah, and we'll talk about that later about why they're that way. And I don't know. Like I haven't read too much about this, but do the choices has BioWare said anything about the choices you do when you're on those scenes when you talk to other people? Like, I know there's no more Paragon and Renegade, but is what you answered going to affect eventually what the game is going to be?
Wait,
Yeah, like from what I understand, there's no more Paragon Renegade.
Different,
They
they changed the name. It's something else.
Why?
They said they wanted to go with something more like The Witcher 3, where it's a little bit more subtle. Like it does have lasting impact, but you just won't immediately know it. It's a little bit more vague in that sense. So I could understand why they were going for that instead of immediately letting okay, I'm going down this path or I'm going down that path. You're just like, fuck, I hope I make the right choice in this instance. So that's what they were going for, which is fine. But
one thing I was wondering about was, on EOS where you get to choose between making a science base or a military base. I wonder if you get to make that choice on each planet, or if from now on every base that you make is going to be that one base kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good question. I already had a little bit of a repercussion from that. Some people were not happy with me that I didn't free up, because basically these people are in cryogenic stasis, and for me, I chose to free up the scientists other than the military, and then the military families are not pissed off at me that I didn't free their families, so I'm like, okay, that's a repercussion of my actions right there. But again, it's still a little too early to tell how all these things will impact the game in a long haul, but that was when I noticed, oh shit, these guys are protesting now because of what I did,
It's politics.
So does your cat, like in your previous games, does your character change depending on some decisions, or is it just like you just kind of remain the same no matter what?
Wait, what do you mean?
These games do change.
Well, I mean, you kind of remember Mass Effect 2, you choose the Renegade option, you start looking a little bit fucked up.
The physical change, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they got rid of that because I think the whole Paragon Renegade was a little too black and white. They wanted to make it a little bit more gray. So that is a good question though. But I don't know. I'm gonna assume no, but I could be wrong about that.
I hope not. I didn't really like that it did that. It's like, way to tell me what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like the story can't tell you what it is. You have to show me what I'm doing.
I thought it was interesting because it makes no sense, but it's kind of fun. It's fun.
They explain it as your implants are getting fucked up because you're evil.
Yeah, and the thing is that you're not really evil. You're never really evil. You're still trying to save the galaxy. You're just being a hard ass about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been loving it. Just exploring, how I am, because this game is a little bit more like Dragon Age, where every planet is fucking massive. So I spent a good 15 hours or so on this one planet, just trying to do every single side mission. I can move on to the next mission, but I'm like, no, I gotta finish shit. But I'm glad I didn't move on because I had one of the dopest effect encounters ever, man. I don't want to spoil too much, but I got to face off against a giant fucking robot. I'm like, oh shit, this is why I like Mass Effect, man. This is fucking amazing. It was just a side mission, and this could have been a legit boss fight. Really, really cool stuff. And I also liked how, because you go to this one planet and you terraform it, you go there and things start getting a little better, and then you come back later, and it's completely terraformed. You can now explore every single area of it. It's not blocked off by radiation or something. Okay, that's cool. So I really feel like I am having a deep impact on the actual world that I'm visiting and stuff. So I like that a lot. Again, I haven't had that feeling from a Mass Effect game in a long fucking time. So it was nice that they brought that back. And also talking about characters, I do appreciate the fact that they now have more female versions of aliens, because it never made sense. Why do where are the female Turians? Where are the female Krogan? Where are the female Solarians? I know the Krogan females, there was a reason why, right? But with Solarians, there's no reason why you didn't see them. So this game has more of them, which I appreciate. And Manny brought up, they actually did introduce female Turians in one of the DLCs.
Yeah, one of the later DLCs, you got to see the female Turian.
That voice actor for that Krogan, that first Krogan you meet, what the fuck's up with that?
Yeah, what is up with that? It just doesn't fit.
Oh, the female one, right?
Oh, is it a female? I don't know.
It's a female Krogan. The main one on the station, right?
It just doesn't sound right. Even if it's a female, it doesn't sound right. It's
it doesn't sound right.
So Pathfinder, it was like, what?
It's not even that. It's also he or she is real nonchalant about everything. I'm like, do you not see what's going on? What I mean? It's just.
Yeah, Adam, go ahead, because I know you don't like this game very much.
It's not that I don't. And it's a disappointment right now. It's just a disappointment. Like, all right, for example, with the jetpack, right? Using that, he grunts constantly. And that fucking irritates me. Something about it. Like, he's like, every time he lets it and lands, even if it's light, it's the same. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice that until now because I was having too much fun actually using that to my advantage, like jumping around and shit. Like,
no, it's fun to jump around. It's the grunting sound that he makes, and when he lands, it's constant.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Did you like Tomb Raider?
Yeah, but I don't.
It was all grunting.
I remember her like.
You know what it is?
Like
Adam doesn't want to hear that male grunting. You can't.
If she's doing a low, no, I can understand if it's a high thing. Like if let's say you're jumping off of something high, jumping onto something high, but this is just like a step. If next time when you're playing, just like step down and you'll go. Ugh. He makes the same loud grunt
Such a
sound.
weird like complaint.
So weird because it's constant, and I'm using the jetpack now.
I've been playing this for like 20 hours. I never noticed.
In the last Mass Effect, you didn't have the jetpack, so you didn't have any of that. It's like and he just hurdled things.
Yeah, the only thing that threw me off about the jetpacks is. Go ahead, Gary. Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I kind of like that though because it feels like Ryder is reacting to everything like just how you would kind of.
But I wouldn't do it so loud. It's like the same voice.
Can't believe we're actually talking about
it probably sounds like the same voice sample.
Yeah, it is, and it's annoying to the point that I had to like lower the volume. I didn't even want to hear it anymore.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, shit. I looked in the options to see if there was something I can do because I'm like, it's too loud. It's too loud. The cover system. I'm trying to get used to the cover system, but it's like it's more of. Before you just stick to something, okay. Now it's like I have to look at him and make sure he makes that animation that he bends. Because if he doesn't, and I think I'm covered, and then I'm still getting shot, I'm like, oh, I'm not covered. And the AI is smart in this one; they'll flank you quick.
Oh yeah.
But, I thought I'm covered. By the time he freaking does the cover animation, the guy already flanked me. There's no point for the cover. I'm like, all right, there goes that. And then like we said with the dialogue, dialogues, it's just like. Pointless shit. I'm like, why did they do this? This guy just woke up from a cryogenic state. I mean, what the? He was. I don't know. Spoilers. He said some stupid shit. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm just right now. I did the first planet. And then I went back to the ship, and I'm like, all right. Well, I'm sure there's plenty more to do. The game looks beautiful. No problems there. I don't see any issues with the faces.
Really? Hold on. I gotta stop you right there. So you noticed grunting, but you didn't notice those jank ass faces.
I've always seen those. Like he said before, I've seen that in Mass Effect in almost every damn game that they had. It's always been there. So it's no surprise.
It's always been. Those humans look way uglier than they're supposed to, man.
It's no surprise.
It's bad in the previous games. I think just for a lot of people, just the amount of fun that they've had on those games and the nostalgia has kind of overshadowed it. But you do any search on all those previous games.
Pass?
Are
you saying those games got a pass?
Oh, hell yeah, they did.
It's either a pass or maybe it's just what people expected.
There's a shitload of issues in those original Mass Effects, like game-breaking issues, like freezing, like ones that like invisible walls that wouldn't let you get past a certain section if you didn't do certain things in a certain order.
Yeah, when they do those love scenes, man, they kept the same face the whole time.
Well, I don't know, man, because some people have put comparison videos comparing the old faces to the new faces. New faces don't look as good.
Well, the thing I think that in general for both of them, they're all very pasty, except these ones are a little bit more extra pasty. And I just think that it just has to do with the voice analyzation animation software that they're using. So like because they don't actually animate every single face.
No,
right?
You just actually gave me a pretty good segue.
But then there's more. There's more. I got more, man. I got more.
I still got more complaints.
Yeah. Because
by the way, I just want to say for the record, I have absolutely no problem with the cover system. I've never had a problem with it. It works fine. Like just get behind cover. That's it. The
story at first again doesn't make sense. I mean, the way they turn your guy. No, I don't want to spoil it, but the way things unfold and your guy comes into power, it's just like, come on now. That would never fly. That's not how these things work. I mean, the only time I saw it where it's almost similar to it is Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2, you sort of get handed the torch in the same manner. Of this. But remember, in that one, it's just you and this one guy. There's other people there. There's a whole other process going on. There was already a second in command. You know what I mean? And that person was with you on the damn mission. don't tell me this shit that this person is now in control. I was like, come on.
Yeah, but you know why? You know what that is though. It's like even though there is a quote unquote second in command, the main Pathfinder still has final say. He could give it to a fucking toad if he wants.
That's when it would have been perfect to give me an option. It was like, do you want to take control or do you want to pass control?
You have to be the Pathfinder.
Exactly. You have to. But later on, why can't you just make me say you got the juice now, buddy? But later on. You know what I mean? Make me a boss later, not from the get-go when the guy was like, man, it's like the new kid on the block. He's like, I don't know if I've ever done it. I don't know if I'll be good at it. I mean,
you know what's funny? That's I'm glad you bring it up because a lot of Bioware games do that where you're the quote-unquote chosen one. Dragon Age Inquisition
guy.
like that too, Like you're like, okay, you're now the Inquisitor, and you're like, okay, sure. Every game is like that. You were the the shepherd or whatever in the other games, like you were the dude, and in Dragon Age, there's always like the warden, the Inquisitor. There's always Bioware games seem to have that. So I know what you're saying, Adam, where it's like, that's a little stupid, but that's a function of these games. So I thought it would be different because there was a second in command there. So I'm like, all right, well, we have someone else to take point, and then the sister, whether it's the brother or the sister, whichever one you pick up, one of them is still in deep sleep. I'm like, all right, there's going to be more to this. And it looked like, no, that's it. Now you have to become the boss and figure shit out and stuff. I'm like,
you are the chosen one.
Yeah, but Bioware games, they love doing that. Like you're the chosen one where you pretty much override every single law,
Isn't most fantasy or futuristic game like that?
That is
seriously
true.
Fucking Link is always the chosen one.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to talk about this guy, Jonathan Cooper, right? He is a current animator for Naughty Dog, but he was one of the animators on the first 3 Mass Effect games, and he broke down what's going on here. Manny, you mentioned it too, where like the animation algorithms and stuff,
because for big games like this, what they do is they use voice analyzation software. Even Metal Gear used to use it, where as opposed to moving the mouth of every single character in the game, there's software running in the background that listens to whatever the characters are saying, and it matches it, matches the lip motion. But it also depends on a couple of different things that you use to kind of accentuate those moments. So I mean, like there's still control. They're still letting the software do it, but they're also saying like, okay, at this moment, I want this character to smile or sort of do something. So I'm sure go on to what he said.
Yeah. So basically, he was talking about how like the first 3 Mass Effect games had specific animations to specific kind of like emotions or whatever. And it's true, if you play the game enough, you know exactly how they're going to move during specific things, right? And this is him kind of speculating a little bit. He also said that The Witcher had kind of like that, but it was a little bit more randomized, right? Voices to body animation. But this is where he kind of speculates a little bit. He thinks that with Mass Effect Andromeda, they wanted to individually animate everybody, right? But they just didn't have time to because it's such a huge game. So the base algorithm wasn't exactly set in place because they had already intended to animate all these things individually, and he feels that if they would have stuck with a base algorithm, even if it was more predictable, you probably would have had better results.
Yeah, like they always, like a lot of the times, like they'll always, to punch a moment up, they'll add a little hand movement like that, but it'll always be the same hand movement. It'll always be the same kind of looking around animations that they use, like idle animations.
So this game doesn't seem to have that. A lot of them just kind of just stand there. So that's what he was speculating. He may be right about that. Even though Bioware had already said they don't intend to go in there and fix any of that, even though I'm like, come on. Because to me, as much as fun as I'm having with the game, that to me, that's the biggest drawback. Like the animations and the character models, human character models are off because all the aliens look great. The game is a good looking game, but the humans just look off to me. And I mean, you are right. The other games did have kind of janky NPCs, but even your normal characters, your main characters look kind of fucked up. That's not right, man. So something happened, and you can't say, oh, it's because that was my original thought. I thought, oh, maybe the Frostbite engine is the culprit. No, it isn't because they used it on Dragon Age Inquisition, and all the humans in that game look fine. So and Manny, you said this too. It comes down to talent. You know,
and it comes out to talent then and aesthetics. Maybe the person who was directing the game felt like they should look a little bit a certain way. There is a general style to the Mass Effect games, and it obviously has kind of changed for this one a little bit.
Yeah, so it's interesting. But go ahead, man.
Do you think we could possibly blame EA for rushing the game out and not giving them enough time to polish?
Wasn't it already delayed?
It was delayed. Not only was it delayed, but the game's been in development for 5 years. So I don't know if we could exactly use that as an excuse by now, you know?
I mean, the thing is, whenever, the thing about games is that you always could use more time.
Yeah, that is true.
Especially when it comes to something as huge as like a Mass Effect game.
Yeah, but the
if you're saying that how the sheer amount of planets that you can kind of explore and stuff like that, that's probably where a lot of their focus was just kind of creating these different worlds. I mean, you have to, for some of the planets, you're saying that there's two versions of the planet. There's like non-terraformed, and then there's terraformed versions. So obviously it takes a lot more time. So I'm like saying I'm thinking they just let the software do what it needs to do and just went through and building the other parts of the games, And I think that's probably what's going to, at least for a lot of people, outshine at least the kind of, weak human-looking characters is the sheer amount of things that you can do in the game.
So maybe they shouldn't have left like auto sync on. Like, oh, it'll just do it.
No, I'm thinking that's what they did. They just said, like, you know what? We got so many other things to worry about. Well, we'll just let that handle it, and we'll just continue to build the world around them.
And these types of decisions are made long before the game's even in development. So it's not like we started like mocapping like all these scenes and then we just didn't have enough time. No, they had this plan from the get-go.
Yeah, they had to have made this decision a while ago. Maybe it's like, okay, because maybe it's like, okay, one section they're like, okay, we have all these different worlds to fucking create. You know what? Might as well just let the animation software just handle, the voice sync and animation software handle the communication with these characters.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But I guess, but the thing is, one of the main reasons people get into Mass Effect games is because of the story and the characters, right? So when those characters are kind of less than they expect them to be, it throws them off. And I think a lot of the criticisms coming from that, people who may not care about the gameplay, they care about the characterizations and stuff. And when that's a little bit lower, it affects them more, So I think that's what's going on here. For me, like, obviously the whole character stuff is very important to me, but the gameplay is just as equally as important. That's like been holding out for me. It's great, and just you said, Manny, they don't have more worlds in this game. It's just the worlds they have are way fucking bigger. That's the only thing here, There's a lot more going on. And like you said, there's two versions of them, basically. The the non-terraform one, the terraform one.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
You're talking about a side mission that had a huge boss in it. So I'm like, I think that, definitely you can see where their focus was really the universe rather than fully on the actual characters.
Yeah.
As long as your Shepard looked decent enough look, and stuff like that, we're fine. And to be honest, I mean, if you have a character creation mode in there, you could probably make a pretty decent looking Shepard if you're not happy with the ones they give you.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, because I feel that the character creation thing in this game has been simplified. Am I tripping about that? Or, Gary, what do you think about the character customization in this game? Because I feel it's not as robust as it was in the other games.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it wasn't as intricate. I think maybe I could have spent a bit more time on mine, but like I didn't have the patience with it after a certain point. So yeah, I'm not totally happy with how my rider turned out, but yeah, I think it could have been a lot better. There could have been a lot more options.
Yeah, that's like, I don't usually like to make custom characters in Mass Effect games. I'm like, I want to play as the dude on the box, but the main dude looks fucking stupid. The girl looks stupid. I wanted to customize them, but I didn't feel there was enough options. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just play as the main guy and that's it.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I didn't really bother with that.
Yeah. By the way, is it just me or does he sound like Nolan North to you? Because he sounds like Nolan North, like is it him?
It has to be. It sounded, once I heard it, I'm like, oh, it's Drake. and he even says his little witty remarks. It's the same shit.
Every game is Nathan Drake.
Every game is fucking ridiculous.
That maybe he has his own little software pack. It's like, oh, do you want Nathan Drake in your game? Here, just install this voice box pack.
You know what I like though? I like that you can also edit your sister's appearance. So like if you use the mail writer, you can edit your sibling as well.
She's not gonna look anything like me then, because
right. They're completely different, you know.
Yeah.
Okay,
like she's adopted.
By the way, it's not Nolan North. It's a guy called Tom Taylorson.
Then he's copying.
He sounds just like him.
He's the less expensive Nolan North.
He's the budget one.
He's the budget Nolan
He's lesser North.
Hey, wait a minute! Isn't there a strike going on? Maybe that's what it is. They're getting like, okay, we can't get Nolan North because the Screen Actors Guild is all on strike. So let's get this guy who kind of sounds kind of like him.
Yeah, faux North. Brett, were you gonna say something, man?
Yeah, I kind of want to address the elephant in the room, and I guess light the fuse. So when we're talking about the character animations, one of the big things that comes up over and over again is if you look at the past games, they seem to have a better quality to the faces and the facial animations and the character design in general. Some people have likened this to a surge in diversity hires that BioWare did, where they were kind of going through a phase where they were hiring people based off of things other than strictly their merits. And I'm not going to lend credence to that or anything like that, but I'm curious as to what you guys think, because it does seem like it's dropped a peg in quality. And so the question seems to be, why has it dropped, not has it dropped? I mean,
well, we can't. I mean, we can't just like.
We would have to find out who worked on it and what their previous projects that could really bring that up. Like, did they hire a bunch of people that just did, iPhone games or something, or?
I'm pulling this from the article that we got linked. I'm reading through the meat of it, and
this is what I'm going to say on it, because it's okay. I'm not going to say that's what happened, but if that's what happened, if you hired people not on their merit, but just because they were diverse, that would explain some things. That would actually explain a lot. Again, but I don't have any evidence to support this.
This is all secondhand. Like this is us reading publications saying that there have been reports. So I can't cite references on any of this. I just thought it was an interesting idea.
But again, Brett, it would explain some things. By the way, and I do need to address the other elephant in the room real quick. Those idiots out, because basically these bunch of dudes, they went after this one girl that works on the game, right? She claimed that she was the lead character animator in the game, right? A bunch of people started attacking her and shit. She actually wasn't the lead animator, but I'm like, really? You realize games are a team effort, right? You can't just go after one person specifically, because of this.
Even then, like, I'm sorry, like, if it's a talent thing, like if it's a lot of people, really talented people got together and this is what they came, they had some problems with the engine. Like, you can't attack somebody for a lack of a quality job. You can get angry at somebody for intentionally affecting the end results, which I do understand. I'm glad to hear that what's his name is no longer working for BioWare.
Yes.
And I find it strange that you're unable, apparently unable to make a light-skinned Caucasian in your character creator. Like, it's not in the options.
I heard about that, but I can't corroborate that because, again, I just went with the main guy who is light-skinned Caucasian. But yeah, that would be weird. Like, if you go to your defaults, I don't think I saw any white people in there, to be honest. Like a bunch of Asian.
Well, they're apparently talking about, BioWare has released a statement that they're talking about releasing a patch to let you make fair-skinned Caucasians and light-skinned Asian people. So apparently it's something that's been noted and addressed by BioWare, which I do have to say to the company, kudos. The fact that that Fucktard is gone, like, you know what? He was breeding hate and bad PR for your company, so good for him. Good for you for parting ways with him. I'm not sure how it happened either, but they seem to be, anybody who's addressing BioWare about any of his tweets or anything like that are being responded to with, he doesn't work for us.
Yeah, so, let's quickly talk about that. Like, I had it later on in the show, but let's just bring it up now because it's kind of important, because this is one of those things where it's like, how did this get? Actually, I was gonna say, how did this get swept under the rug? His whole being there got swept under the rug. But anyway, so this guy, Manveer Air, I don't know if I said his name right. So this guy was saying some really superly racial like shit against white people, flat out racist shit about white people, how they need to be killed, all this nonsense, right? Yeah, bro. Like he was tweeting this shit all the time, and people were like, hey, Bioware, what are you doing about this guy? And they never said anything, so that got swept under the rug. No big gaming publication published that. And then I think earlier this week, I don't know if he got fired this week, but apparently Bioware said he's no longer with us. If you go to his Twitter, it confirms the same thing. But I'm like, okay, no one reported on that either. That's interesting. There's other like smaller sites that report on it, but like major sites have never even touched it. So I am glad they got rid of that shit because listen, I don't subscribe to the whole reverse racism bullshit. No, racism is pretty easily defined. You hate somebody because of their ethnicity, you're a fucking racist. It doesn't matter if they're white. If you don't like the person because they're white, you're a fucking racist. It's pretty simple. It's black and white, pardon the pun. So I'm glad they got rid of this dude. But yeah, it does bring up the question, how much of his influence came into this game? Because I'm playing the game. I don't feel they hate white people or anything like that, right? But I don't know how a guy like that got so far into the development of this game. If he had said this about any minority group, they would have booted his ass so fast he wouldn't know what the fuck hit him. Wasn't he lead designer of some branch? Like he not only worked for them, but like he was a higher up guy. Yeah. I don't know what his exact position was, but he was a higher up there. So I'm just amazed that he got away with all this stuff. He's fucking drinking from a cup that says white tears, all this crazy shit, And I'm like, yo, how do you not fire this dude? So I'm glad he's gone, but I can't say how much he affected the game, But by the way, speaking about diversity, Brent and I were talking about this the other day. I find it funny how you have Horizon Zero Dawn, right? A game that takes place 1,000 years in the future, and the people in the game are based, they're descended from a limited pool of humans. But even 1,000 years in the future, they're all distinctly black, white, Asian, whatever, right? Mass Effect, on the other hand, and I feel this is the correct way of doing it, 200 years in the future, there are clearly mixed race people there. And I appreciated that. Like I was talking to this one girl, she had like darker skin, Asian features, and bright blue eyes. I'm like, you know what? That actually makes perfect sense. If you have a limited amount of people going to space, they're going to shack up with each other. You're going to get mixed results and stuff. So that I like that. Mass Effect is doing it. I just find it funny that the game takes place less in the future than Horizon, and Horizon didn't get that right.
Yeah, but Horizon, everybody was being produced by machines. The machines were obviously racist. That's what humans were birthed from robots. Robots hate us, man. Didn't you watch Terminator?
Yeah, that robots. Robots. That was the thing. That's what they called them back in the early 20s.
Yeah, man, that was a running group for a while. Robots.
Yeah, they were called the robots.
But yeah, Mass Effect, man, I'm digging it. Like, Zelda, that shit got put aside. I got to play Mass Effect right now.
Dude, I made Mass Effect. Like, my boycott is officially. If this guy's out of BioWare, my boycott is officially lifted.
No, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone, dude.
I rode the high road right into the sunset on this one, man.
Yeah, there you go, Brett. I like that, man.
Would you say embargo lifted?
I would. Man, there are games that like a lot of the Batman games I just never got to play because I'm too fucking stubborn and jackass to bend on some of these moral issues. So this would have been one of those games where I would have been like, man, I'm never fucking playing this game if it had gone the wrong way. But BioWare seems to be playing it well. Like,
yeah. Brett, I do like to ask the obvious question though. If somebody were to gift you those Batman games, would you be opposed to playing them? I just fucked this man up right now.
Right there.
That's a shit right there.
I guess if I had no say in it, my first response was you shouldn't have done that, or at this point, like you better not have paid much for these kind of thing. Like I don't want to financially support that. But then again, like who's gonna look a gift horse in the mouth?
I am. I got offered. I got offered $140 to eat a pineapple pizza live on TV, and I said, "Fuck that! I'm not doing that shit. Kiss my ass." I'm not. I got morals, man. Fuck that shit. But yeah. Anyway, Mass Effect. Oh yeah, I do want to quickly say before we move on to the next thing. Okay, I like the fact that they brought that first Mass Effect feel when it comes to exploration. I don't like the fact that they brought back the janky ass inventory system from the first game. It's not the same, but it's similar. It's just so fucking convoluted. Oh my god,
I hated that
man.
shit. It just scrolled forever.
Yeah, it's like, like, okay, now let me buy the third version of this weapon. It's like, come on, man, this bullshit.
Did they bring back Omnigel?
No, Omnigel is there as a crafting component, but yeah, okay. Again, it's not as bad as Mass Effect 1, but it's way more complicated. Mass Effect 3, my guys really got to complicate this shit,
I gotta know. How's the car drive?
The car drive is nice. It's okay. It's not okay. Actually, Chris, which one was your favorite car?
What? Not the Mako, that's for sure.
Okay, the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not as grippy as the Mako, but it's certainly better than that other bullshit. What was the name of that one? The one from Mass Effect 2?
The hovercraft thing?
That fucking thing that was made out of tin foil.
Yeah.
It could just be destroyed like nothing. So I would say it's more Mako-ish because like it handles really well. It can't go up the like steep fucking cliffs or anything like that, right? But it's good, man. I haven't gone into combat with it yet, so I can't speak on that. But driving around is really good. By the way, I do wish like the waypoint system and the maps were a little bit better. I appreciated that they have like travel spots or whatever, fast travel, but I still have to pause the game too much to go into my map to see where the fuck I'm going.
Yeah, that was another minor issue.
Yeah, that pissed me off because like every game usually lets you press one button to quickly access the map, right? Not in this game. You got to pause it, go into the main menu, and then click on map. It's like, come on, man, you're killing the flow,
Why can't they just bring in the Dead Space map? That was awesome. Remember when he just like pressed the button, he could see a trail on the floor and just like,
but the thing is that isn't this game a lot bigger than a Dead Space game? I mean, Dead Space is pretty much, there's only really one way a few ways that you can actually go.
Yeah. By the way, Adam, I find it funny that you bring up Dead Space because when you scan shit, to me that reminds me of Dead Space for some reason.
When you're scanning items, constantly using that to scan everything.
Yeah. By the way, Adam, you have to like this game because if you go to, I was going to call him Shepard. If you go to Ryder's office, he has a little Titan on his desk.
Oh.
And also somebody in the crew has like plushies of Plants vs. Zombies, EA little things.
EA stuff. All right, cool.
So I thought that was cool. But yeah, Mass Effect, it's not as bad as people are saying. Come on, guys. Like the game is dope.
It's funny. It's horrible. It's just, it just
some of the fans were hitting me up saying, it's like, yo, am I crazy? Because I like this game. I'm like, no, you're not crazy. The game is cool. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well, I think I think it's the the whole facial thing, animations and some of the graphical errors in the game. Obviously, those are the aesthetical things that they get in a way. But I feel like just like with the original ones, those are the in general BioWare games are glitchy and fucky, and they all kinds of fucked up things happen. But I think just like a lot of those kind of open worldy type of games, it's the sheer amount of things that you can do in the game that outshine the technical problems with the.
Yeah. Although I personally feel the story is really good and compelling, like Carlos said, it's very reminiscent of Battlestar Galactica in that way.
Yeah.
I'm actually very, very captivated by the story. It's really good. Oh, by the way, Techno Fabulous Adam, he goes, if dinosaurs were in Mass Effect, would Adam play it? He wouldn't touch that shit.
What I would do is if I came across it, then I would set up a camera right behind me so you could see me just eject the game, break it, throw it out, and then play.
Damn.
Yo.
I don't like that shit. If there's gonna be serious dino play, you tell me.
Dino play.
I'll copyright that. If there's serious dino play right at the beginning, you let me know. No, don't none of this surprise shit. Oh, by the way, dinosaurs are a big part of the game.
By the way, the new Mass Effect, you're a caveman.
Dinosaur.
You're a future caveman.
Adam, what game are you jamming on right now? Like, what is your?
What am I doing right now? Right now, I'm playing my FIFA, my wrestling, Mass Effect. I'll play a little bit of that. I'm still doing that. And there was another one I was just playing, Yakuza. I'm going through that, but
no dinosaurs in any of those games, man.
No dinosaurs. No dinosaurs.
All right, man, we're going to move on. So, Gary, I guess, we can let you go, man. Thank you for actually staying up so late to be on the show, man. Really appreciate that, bro.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and quickly, definitely, man. And quickly, co-op episode 200, baby. It's coming.
Oh
So-
yeah, you guys gonna join us?
Yeah, I hope hopefully we could fit as many as we can in there. I'll definitely be there. Do you guys have anything special planned for that?
We're still planning. This weekend we're actually doing a quarterly report. So
Yes, let's go, man. Let's go. Yo, Gary, let me tell you this real quick. Based off of everything I had heard about Mass Effect, I was prepared for that to be my disappointment of the quarter. It isn't. I don't know what I'm going to say for my disappointment now. I really have no fucking. This quarter has been so great, man.
yeah, you got to think about it now.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Does it have to be software?
Yeah, Carlos, I see where you're going with this. That'll make things a lot easier. But yeah, I'll be quarterly report. I'll be there for sure, and hopefully one or two of these guys will join too. That'll be awesome. So I guess co-op 200 will be 2 weeks from now, right? Or 2 weeks from now, I guess.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Thank you for being on, bro. Mass Effect, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and have a great show, guys.
Hey, take care.
Thanks, man.
Later.
All right, people.
Hey, bud.
Let's move on here. So, the first wave of PlayStation 4, PlayStation Now games were revealed. Guess what's in it?
Ninja Turtles.
Killzone, Shadowfall, Knack, fucking Resogun. The shit we told you.
Yeah, the
In
old
other
game.
news, the sky is blue.
Yeah, no, because people were saying, "Oh, they're gonna have new games on this. You're gonna see new games."
No, that's
No.
fucking stupid.
Like Sony.
Those
just
guys
killed
don't
the
understand what a
PlayStation.
business model is.
They really don't, man. So let me tell you what. Let me tell you the full list here. And by the way, this isn't the full list that's available to everyone. This is just for the beta guys, which means they're probably gonna have more games. So they have Killzone, Shadowfall, Entwined, Hohokam, Helldivers, Escape Plan, Knack, Counter Spy, Unfinished Swan, Resogun, Doki Doki Universe, Dead Nation, Apocalypse Edition, Sound Shape, Superstar Ultra, and Hardwire Rivals. Old ass games, just like we told you guys.
Yep.
Isn't Doki Doki Universe like Super Mario Brothers 2 or something like that?
Is it?
What's the original name of that?
I know what you're talking about.
Wasn't it like Doki Doki something?
I'll look that shit up. But yeah, seriously, is anyone but that isn't a fanboy surprised by this?
No,
it was a given that like Knack and Killzone Shadowfall were going to be there for sure.
Yeah,
but it's
hilarious.
It's like I posted on Twitter. It's like, yo, where my Horizon at? Come on, man. Like we knew which Gorilla game was going to be there. And it would sure as hell wasn't going to be the one that came out like a week ago or like 2 months ago.
Yeah, the one that's still selling. Right?
Yeah. And then what I found funny was like the same guy saying that PlayStation Now is going to kill the PlayStation 4, not complain that there's not enough new games on it. Fucking stupid. Get out of here.
Yeah. It's like, but I was wrong. I can't be wrong.
You want new games? Go
but it's
buy
trash
them.
anyway. It's trash anyway. By the way, Carlos, the game was called Doki Doki Panic. So there you go. But yeah, it's like, come on, guys. You guys were like, it's fun. Okay, so 1 week these guys were saying PlayStation Now is trash, right? Then they say it's dope. Now they're saying it's trash again. Fucking idiots, man. We don't really have anything more to say in this other than we fucking told you so.
Yeah, like let's just be real here. Like the whole reason why people were praising this whole thing, or at least like overhyping the hell out of this, was because they wanted to see a way where they can knock down the PS4. Be like, oh, there's no exclusives anymore. You shouldn't buy a PS4 anymore.
Well, that's funny. That's projection.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just them praising something they know is going to knock down their quote unquote competitor, and then when it doesn't come true, then they knock it.
It's fucking stupid. It's fucking.
Man, that's why I always go back to the same fucking place. Like, especially with PC guys. Like, PC guys are like, oh, the game looks better. It's superior in every way on a PC. Yeah, except for the fact that everybody fucking cheats and all your multiplayer is broken. As far as I'm concerned, that's the end of the goddamn conversation right there. Yes, you have superiority in some ways. You have inferiority in other ways. Get off your fucking high horse until you fix it. Until one system has across the board superiority, nobody has the right to stand on the mountaintop and plant a flag.
Man, that's some true shit right there, man. It's hilarious. But everybody wants to get on their high horse, even though they're being fucking stupid. But whatever. Anyway, we need to go on. We told you guys all this, you know. And by the way, when we say you guys, we mean like the dumbasses. Obviously, not the Throwdown audience. You guys know what's up. You know.
How come nobody pointed out the GDC chart of the survey of what developers were, what platform they were working on?
Oh, Chris, I know where you're getting that. Please save that for a little bit later. You know, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, and we're gonna talk about Nintendo in a bit. Okay, quickly.
Oh, no, I was gonna talk about Xbox because
they
were
really? Because Nintendo Switch developers like
they were at the bottom. Yeah, they were at the bottom.
So, Chris, go ahead, man. What's going on with the GDC developers and stuff on Xbox?
They took a survey of I think either 4,200 or 4,500 developers and said, what platforms are you working on, right? So a vast majority of them said PC, right? And then I think the next highest, I think it was 58% was PC. And then about 38 or 40% was smartphones and tablets.
Ooh.
And then the next
surprised by that.
Down
I'm not.
Was
I don't know anyone that plays, but then again, I'm gonna smoke.
Casuals playing on fucking tablets and shit all the time, yeah.
And then the next one down was PlayStation, was the third, above 30%. And then I forgot what was in between that. And then the next one now was Xbox, I think was at 20%, right?
Shit.
But all the way at the bottom of that list was the Switch at 3%.
Man, brutal. We'll get to Switch in a bit. All right, let's talk about fucking Destiny 2, man. So this Italian retailer leaked the poster for it. And Jason.
No.
Yeah. So Jason Schreier from Kotaku and Eurogamer, right? They confirmed it's like, yeah, this shit is real, guys. So the game is, supposedly going to be released on September 8th. There's going to be a beta, and the developers, promise that it's going to be quote unquote drastically different than the first game. We'll see about that. Oh, Brett, what's up, man?
Just the cycle fucking starts again. No, it's not going to be drastically different. It's going to be the same formula that Blizzard used to wring money out of you 10 years ago. And because we're all just fucking hairless monkeys, half the population is going to fucking fall for it. No offense to you guys that are really excited about Destiny, but that is just a grindy, shitty MMO.
Keep it real.
Yeah, I don't
like that's what Hey, Brett, I think you and I left around the same time when we both figured that shit out, because we were having fun with it at first,
when you just figured that out. I mean, you could play the demo for like an hour and figure that shit out.
Yeah. But I think maybe we were being hopeful. Brett and I were having a lot of fun with it. And it's like, oh, this is just grindy carrot stick shit. You're trying to get that fucking carrot, but you never really get it, So,
we had fun until they started asking us for more money. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, it's like buying a season pass to a theme park, and then you go and they're like, oh yeah, well we built a new roller coaster. Now you got to pay to get in again. You're like, wait a minute, motherfucker! Like, I already paid for this once. I'm not gonna pay for this again. And then like I got out of the loop for 2 months, and there was another expansion, and then at that point it was cheaper to buy the game again new at $60 to buy the expansions. The price points were all fucked up.
Oh, man, fuck that. And then the funny thing is, like, I went back to play the game maybe like a year later, and people are like, Tony, man, get ready, man. They totally changed the game. It's so different now. It was the same fucking shit. It was the same fucking shit.
Going to the same damn place.
The lizard king or whatever the fuck it was,
You shoot shit. That's what you do.
You shoot shit. That's all you do. It's so different, though. So different.
It's so different. No, a different thing would be like all of a sudden, they got rid of all guns because of some sort of EM pulse, and everybody uses fucking swords.
Yeah, that'd be different, right?
That's different.
And I still didn't get a story. I still didn't get a fucking story. This is Bungie, right? Story gods. No fucking story.
You're not going to from an MMO. You're not going to get a good story from an MMO. It doesn't work.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, because they have to kind of keep you. They have to keep grinding you away, and who has time for fucking story? That's why the friggin' like that pod guy kept saying, we won't talk about that now.
Yeah, that was insulting as shit. Thing. I don't have time to tell you why I don't have time. Get the fuck out of here. No, just tell me the truth. You don't have a story. That's what's going on here.
I'm sure, I mean, there was a rumor that there was a huge overarching government story, but I think that once they killed it all off, they just kind of left with the gameplay and no, direction.
I'm going to say something that's potentially controversial.
They built world story, but they couldn't build personal narrative.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
It's funny because the game hinted at personal narrative. I'm going to say something that's maybe controversial. I think it's bad that Destiny was such a success because now other developers, it's already happened. Other developers like, hey, gamers don't care about fucking story. Just throw them in a big world, let them shoot crap. That's how you got fucking Division. That's how you got Enter the Badlands, and that's how you got all these other knockoff.
That's how you got the first. That's how you got the first Titanfall.
Yep. So come on, man.
That other one with the monster. Evolved.
Oh. Dude, half of these games are based off of survival games. I mean, all this came out of the fucking DayZ craze, and I still maintain that's the thing that made like GTA fun. Put a bunch of people in a lobby, let them either play a game or murder each other, and they'll have a great ass time with it. I have real high hopes for Red Dead 2 about that same thing. Like, it's not a hard equation. People just like jackassing around and killing each other. Give them the opportunity to do that.
Destiny. And supposedly now the game's going to be on PC, so more hacking and cheating, right, Brett?
I hope they better fucking separate those servers.
Just make mods. That's what they do. They just make a mod. Run a trainer. Do that shit.
Yeah, especially with games like that. Like, you can make a mod or you can make a bot that auto trains and auto levels you, and you can have it just running around in a circle, killing enemies and sighting it on headshots and picking up health things. And you can automate a script for that, so you could go out to work and have a character running around 8 hours a day doing that shit. I mean, that's been around since Gold Farmers and WoW, 15, 20 years ago? Who the fuck knows how long ago that was at this point?
13 years ago.
What's that?
13. WoW came out in 2004.
See, there you go. So it's not a new concept, and man, I still maintain I think before Steam could ever really compete with console gaming, that they would have to have some sort of platinum or authorized thing where you let Steam scan your computer for mods or things, or mods or cheats or bots or overlay programs or anything like that.
I feel like they don't give a shit that much about it.
They don't, unfortunately.
I feel like they're just like, you know what, we got our money. It doesn't matter what the fuck they do with the game.
Well, also you realize PC gamers would scream bloody murder if we.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they would never be down for that. That would be one of those like, you're not scanning my fucking computer. Like, well, that's why we can't play a fair game together.
It's like, how dare you accuse me of cheating? By the way, I am cheating.
I am cheating. I'm cheating my ass off. All right, man. Let's move on here, man. Fuck Destiny. Okay, so Chris, man, get ready, man. So Nintendo finally addresses the Joy-Con issues with the most fucking stupidest explanation ever, man. Like, what did they? Okay, so they said there weren't any defects with the Joy-Cons, right? They said they were quote unquote manufacturing variations.
Yeah, that's
out of here.
That's fantastic spin in the Trump era. I was just joking that Kellyanne Conway, Reggie better watch out. He's getting into that territory now, making up terms, alternative facts, manufacturing variations. It sounds similar to me, but that kind of spin is just dishonest. There's no such thing as a manufacturing variation. You made a design flaw, and it got shipped out to people, and the thing is defective. That's it. That's
you
what
tell
it
me
is.
If you have a fish tank in your room, the fucking things won't work.
They were making excuses left and right. It's like, well, if you have an aquarium, but the switch isn't in the aquarium, you fucking idiots. That doesn't make any sense.
It from what I understand, it is, and actually, defect. Manufacturing variation is not a bad word to use, because apparently what it is there's a conductive foam or a conductive piece. And I guess there was a slight, dimensional thing of just just a hair's breadth. And if this piece got manufactured here and this piece got manufactured here, and they put them together, it left a tiny little gap.
No, that's not the problem, Brett. The problem is they didn't use the same antenna in both Joy-Cons. They cheaped out and they put the left Joy-Con Bluetooth receiver under the board. And the right Joy-Con, the antenna is above the board, where it has no impedance and it can communicate, which is why the right Joy-Con has no sync issues and the left Joy-Con does. They cheaped out on the left Joy-Con design, and this is why you're having a problem. Don't give me any bullshit about conductive foam. If they had put symmetrical antennas in both Joy-Cons, nobody would be having this issue. This was an intentional design flaw to save money, and it backfired.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with any of that, but I don't know, man. I think I did. I remember bricked PS4s. I remember the Red Ring of Death on my 360. I think having a fucking desynced Joy-Con happen every once in a while, which I haven't had a problem with. Nobody I know has had a problem with it. Like, it's one of the.
Oh no, it's fine. Like, look, I don't forgive Microsoft for Red Rings. I had 360. You know, it's like
they fucking claimed that. They claimed for a fucking year that shit wasn't their problem, and they made you pay for it multiple times.
Sure, and I was pissed about that. I fortunately, well, my fat PS3 died. It did yellow.
Yeah, mine did too, man.
And I had to use a blow dryer and whatever freaking hack. I took it to that shop. Manny knows the place. I took it there. I took it to X Cubicle. They resurrected it, and I got my data off. But yeah, so those kind of design flaws, like they're system breaking and they're unacceptable, and I got pissed about them. Sure, and I call them out when I see them. But I don't like dishonesty. I don't like Nintendo coming out and saying that because you have an aquarium and wires, it's your fault and it's not our fault. And
they're like, they're also like, don't play with it behind your back.
Yes.
So, even just putting it behind your back causes it to desync.
Yeah, don't play it near any other electronics if possible. And you're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the center of your living room. So.
Well, yeah, like what if your cell phone fucking goes off and then you lose sync while you're trying to climb a fucking mountain in Zelda? Come on, you know, I can't say that is that forgivable, especially when you're doing something like that game, which is you're doing something timing based, or you're doing something.
No, it's not forgiveness. It's just accountability. If they had said, yes, we apologize for this issue, we realize the problem, we're going to fix it. It shouldn't be up to guys like Ben Heck and iFixit to open the damn thing up and go, there's the issue, there's the problem, they designed this wrong. And then they go, oh yeah, you caught us, but it's a manufacturing variation, right? Just fucking admit it. You cheaped out on the design, and this is why it doesn't work. We shouldn't get accountability. Like, you sent me that Ben Heck video, I'm like, there it is, he pointed it out. Without him, they would have kept lying.
But how is manufacturing, like, I guess, how is manufacturing variation more or less derogatory than manufacturing defect? Like, a defect, it implies that, you know, something along the process went the way that it wasn't supposed to. Manufacturing variation basically says your left hand doesn't know what your right hand is doing. You put together some systems wrong.
It's neither. It's a design flaw.
It's a design flaw. They're just not admitting it. They're stepping their way towards, like, diminishing the lie that they have started with. It started with the let's deflect and let's blame the consumer.
So why am I hearing so much that it's an easy fix from all the community that's actually opening up their Joy-Cons?
Sure, take a piece of copper wire and extend the antenna, and you're golden, right?
That, right? Because every consumer is going to do that. Come on, man.
A 12-year-old kid is going to go find. Let me go find a piece of copper wire and become MacGyver. And
no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's as much of a design flaw as the fucking 360 was. That thing baked its own motherboard until it broke its own. Soldering.
But
that is a design flaw.
Yeah, but sins of the past don't forgive sins of the present. Just because Microsoft fucked up the design of their console doesn't give Nintendo the right to fuck up the design of their console. See, I can't say, like, hey, well, Microsoft fucked up, because you can use that excuse for everything. It's like, well, you
don't excuse bad behavior by pointing to worse.
No. I'm not excusing anything. I'm just saying, like, this honestly, like, this sounds like par for the course. And, like, I've been trying really hard to judge these last few days, and it's hard getting any straight news on Nintendo, and it's hard getting any straight beat on how many people are actually having these problems. Because I keep hearing about these fucking Joy-Con problems. I don't know anybody that's had a Joy-Con problem.
Yeah, it seems like most of the game journalists, even other people who received early models, had it, and then it's just random people online saying I have sync issues, and people have made videos showing, like, here I am 2 feet away, here I am 4 feet away, and now it doesn't work. Even I saw in Univision they couldn't get that shit to work.
I haven't had any issues myself because I don't fucking use the bitch ass Joy-Con.
Yeah, you use the Pro Controller.
And also the thing is, it also depends on the distance that you are playing.
Yeah, I'm relatively close. By the way, I do want to read this statement because again, it's just so gloriously full of shit. In my opinion, there is no design issue with the Joy-Con controllers, and no widespread proactive repair or replacement effort is underway. And manufacturing variation has resulted in wireless interference with a small number of the left Joy-Cons. Moving forward, this will not be an issue as the manufacturing variation has been addressed and corrected at the factory level. Yeah, you fixed your fuck up. Come on.
Yeah, they just redesigned the controller. It's like,
yeah.
I love how they acknowledge there's a fuck up without saying, "Oh, we fucked up."
Yeah, that's all they had to say from the beginning. They all, even if they said, "Hey, we realize there's an issue. We're looking into it. Meanwhile, our support will be open to anybody who's having a problem." That is how you do customer support. That is how you do PR. You don't do it by saying, "Well, you gave us $300. Now go fuck off. It's your fault. Hey, you own fish? Why are you an idiot? Why do you own fish? You shouldn't own the fish. Just put your
hold on. That's not fair. Like you're taking anecdotal evidence fair. And again,
absolutely 100%. It's consumer blaming, and let me tell you, that's the worst thing they could do, and they've done that before. They've done that while I worked there.
Why have I heard every single person who's contacted Nintendo customer service say that it's been almost the best customer service experience of their life?
Yeah, well, that's when you get to that.
No one has had any problems. So what are they contacting them on?
So,
if it's not regarding that issue, what are they calling them on?
Well, when they do have the issues, I'm talking about forums that I'm reading.
Oh.
So the people in the forums who have said, I've been having this problem. I've been following the story. Apparently, Nintendo's real good at keeping up with it. Like I'm not fucking excusing this, but it does. I'll be honest, and maybe it's just the fact that I'm pretty happy with my Switch, but that it feels a little like a fucking witch hunt. Like there doesn't seem to be any more manufacturing defect than any other launch in any other system in any of history. But everybody wants to want to dogpile on the Switch for some fucking reason.
Well, it's not dogpiling; it's accountability. And I'll say it again: when people were reporting dead pixels, they said dead pixels is not a defect. It's absolutely 100% a defect, and they should address it. This is important.
And let's go back to the PlayStation Vita, which had dead pixel issues on the first batch of consoles. What was it? Was every single person crying bloody hell because of that? They were.
That's with every console.
The dead pixels thing was the biggest bullshit because if you buy a brand new TV, it could cost a fucking $1 million, right? If there's one dead pixel, you could return it to any place and without any problems, right? Nintendo's trying to tell you, oh yeah, dead pixels are normal for LCDs. Come on, man, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, see,
maybe in Mario Galaxy, it's common.
No, they're setting an expectation that if you have this issue, we won't support you. That's what they're dog whistling. When they say dead pixels are not a defect, that is saying to you, if you have dead pixels, don't call us. We won't support you. They had to change that tune afterwards when enough people complained. Companies shouldn't have to do that. People shouldn't have to then pile on and scream to get support, and then they open the gates of help to people. That help should have been readily available when they realized there was issues. This console was rushed out the door. It had design flaws, and it had manufacturing problems. And let's be real about it. That's exactly what it was. They didn't own up to it until there was transparency given by outside people like Digital Foundry and Ben Heck and iFixit. That's where the transparency came from. Then it comes back to people going, I need help with this. And finally, they open the gates of support. So yes, the people on the phone are nice. But the initial thing was, we won't help you because we don't think this is a problem. So don't call us, until enough people screamed. And I said it almost would probably have taken a lawsuit to get them to open those gates up. And that is my problem. That is everybody's problem. And that's what people should be mad about.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. They made a really shoddily made system, and they're trying to just blame it on those consumers. It's fucking crazy, But yeah, there you go. So I guess they're from moving forward.
I disagree.
All right, I don't know how you can disagree, but that's fair enough.
I'm still a month in, and I'm still.
Huh?
What? It's a shoddy system.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious it was shoddily built, Like go check out those videos, man. Like they really put it in like in delight. You know, it's like, damn, this thing is really fucking cheap. And Chris, then you break down the price, like the actual system itself costs like $120 if you strip away all the other shit it comes with. You know,
right? If the dock is $90 and the Joy-Con set is what is it, $80?
Yeah, something like that.
So you're at $170. Take that away from the cost, the parts that you get in the grip. Then the actual Switch tablet, which is the meat and potatoes of the system, is $120.
By the way, you guys know Dell and HP both don't consider dead pixels defects as well, as long as the number is under 6.
What?
Well, they're full of shit too.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Yeah.
Samsung varies on it.
Didn't the PSP ship with a bunch of dead pixels?
5 dead
That's what I said.
People scream bloody murder.
PSP and the other
people
one.
are pissed.
I remember
And rightly so. You can't be having dead pixels. That's fucking bullshit.
Most companies have between 3 and 5. Acer goes between 4 and 16 dead pixels, depending on the resolution of the monitor, before it's considered a defect.
Yeah, well, people were taking pictures where they had like maybe 100 or so dead pixels. Some people had whole portions of the screen that didn't work.
Oh yeah, but do you really think that Nintendo wouldn't repair that shit? Honestly,
No, Nintendo said that's fine. They said it's normal.
They said that's fine.
Yeah, they said it's
huge
normal.
blocks of 10 to 15 dead pixels.
Yeah,
I
because it's not a
guarantee you if I got one of those units, I would get replaced by Nintendo. I guarantee
I
you.
think it would probably be up to the store. You could probably bring it back to the store and let the store.
it has to do. It has to usually the. I don't think it's usually the store that does it. I think you have to go right back to Nintendo because most Nintendo devices have like a lifetime guarantee if they have the parts.
Right, but also if they have the parts or if they have the replacements. Now, Brett, let me tell you, in a world where you have like red rings and stuff, were there plenty of 360s to replace them? Like, could you go out and get another 360?
No, not at first.
I didn't see a supply issue with the 360. Like, I went out and just said, fuck it. Like, after I fixed it and the guy went,
because
I got another one.
No, because they wouldn't let you return it to the store. They made me wait 4 weeks for a fucking shipping label to come out, and then I had to pay to send it into them, where I got to wait another 4 to 6 weeks before they sent it back to me. There was no in-store exchange policy.
Oh,
the
no,
only thing I could do was send it into them and pay them to fix their own fuck up.
They sent me a box. They sent me a box with.
Eventually they got to that point after enough people.
That's what they did later. You know, the Xbox coffin.
Yeah, mine broke way later, so I didn't have that option. I had the X Cubicle guy, and then I took it back again, and then he wouldn't do it anymore, so I had to buy another one. But here's the thing with the Switch: there are none to be had. So if I went to a store, what's my option? How do I get another one? I can't.
We buy new Joy-Cons.
No, but I have dead pixels. Half my screen is dead. What do I do?
Oh, from what I understand, you can get a turnaround in about 2 business days if you talk to the people at Nintendo. So 2 days out, 24-hour repair time, 2 days back, within 5 business days, what I'm hearing.
So they do screen replacements.
I'm not sure if it's screen replacements. From what I've read, it's the same serial numbers, same save files. So I don't know exactly what they're doing.
All right. Well, I doubt they're replacing the screen. I think you are SOL for the most part if you need to swap out the machine because they don't have the supply to replace it. Like
no, absolutely. Right now, that's an issue. But I mean, again, it's you're going to have a certain amount of manufacturing defects that it doesn't seem like it's the huge widespread thing. Like the red ring was a big deal because it was a huge widespread thing.
Oh yeah, it affected over 50% of 360 owners. Like half of 360s from the first 2 runs of the board were defective, and they were dead. They would die eventually. Mine took a while, but eventually died. Actually, Mass Effect killed my my Xbox. Ironically, Mass Effect 2.
The Reapers, man.
The Reapers, the collectors killed it.
Yeah, the collectors. That's right. Shit. All right, man. Let's move on, man. Some more serious topics here. We gotta talk about this fucking fool, JonTron. I didn't even know who the fuck this guy was until this week. You know.
Oh shit! You never heard of him?
No, I don't
really.
Yeah, I never heard of this guy. You know.
To be, I mean, at least for me, I've never liked that that YouTuber guy. I actually don't like most of those guys, like him or that Ego Raptor guy. You know, the guys who just kind of started that screaming at video game videos.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I don't care about that. I don't really want to talk about because he got in trouble for saying some shit on one of his videos or whatever. I don't really want to get into that, but he was doing a voice in Yooka-Laylee, right? And they pulled his voice out of the game because of the things he said. Like, people were saying, oh, he's saying all this racist shit, nationalistic shit, whatever. So I just want to really talk about, do you guys think it was right for them, the company, to get rid of him, or what? Like, they don't want any. So when it comes to promotion, they don't want any sort of negative things. That even if you have a little bit of a negative thing, they don't want that shit on there. Yeah, but was it right though? That's the question I'm asking.
No, it doesn't. To be honest, it has nothing to do with right or wrong. It has to do with them making money. It has to do with making money. So even if they don't agree or they do agree, it doesn't matter. They're causing a controversy that may in some way affect their sales.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. But again, I'm just trying to get to like the moral aspect of it. Is it like,
it's not a morality thing. Yeah. Like, they did it because, like Manny said, it could negatively affect sales. So all the people who are sticking by JonTron and saying like, oh, Playtronic's filing is freedom of speech. That's not how that works. And Playtronic
that's not how it works.
And also, Playtronic is a British company. They don't have to abide by our constitution, guys. That's not how that works. That's not how any of it works. But they want to avoid controversy and they want to avoid the negative impact on sales. And they just went, you know what? Let's just pull it. Let's just avoid this problem. They put out a very nice little statement about it, and that's that. And if people are pissed, if his followers are going to boycott the game, go right ahead. I guarantee that will probably not affect its sales or pre-orders or anything. So
and then I heard people, I don't know, I can't verify any of this, but apparently some people were saying they're either going to no longer buy the game, or they're going to pull, or they want their money back from Kickstarter because of this happening. Can I just ask the most obvious question? Is that important? Who the fuck cares, really? Like,
no one does it for.
He's not even talking in the game. He just does a bunch of grunts and shit. It's like, so you're seriously telling me you're not gonna buy this game now because JonTron is in it? I'm gonna have news for you, man. I'm pretty sure the people saying that shit were never gonna buy Yooka-Laylee in the first place.
Right? They weren't. And first of all, it wasn't announced he was in the game till like a few months ago. So you weren't in on it then. Like, you were never in on the game.
Yeah,
talking out of your ass. If you're I'm not gonna buy it now, you probably weren't ever gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's talking all that shit,
Yeah, and I don't think. Yeah, again, and to be honest, him being in the game is such a small factor to compare to the thing. I'd be more pissed if they decided to take off a level. Like, if they said, "Fuck this level, we're scrapping this whole level." Now that really affects, because it's actual gameplay, it's actual part of the game. Any idiot can do a fucking grunt. I'm sorry.
Yo, man, they're gonna get PewDiePie.
They should just get the guy that's doing the grunt of Mass Effect. He got grunt for days. I'm telling you. Now that you hear it, that I pointed it out, you're gonna hear it more and more. You're gonna be like, damn, why?
You know what fucks me up? You know what fucks me up more? Because again, I never even noticed the grunts. What I noticed was the sound the jetpacks make. I'm like, yo, am I getting shot at? What the fuck is that? It always throws me off.
It's got some kick.
Yeah.
So, again, to bring it back, I don't think it has anything to do with right or wrong. I just feel like they feel like it may negatively affect their sales. So rather than go in and just rather than just deal with that bullshit, they just said, all right, we're just cutting it.
Yeah. I mean, that goes without saying, though.
Well, there's also supreme irony happening, because these guys are like, oh, the I forgot, was it Playtronic?
Yeah, Playtronic. Let me look at the name of this fucking company.
The former
Playtronic. Yeah, Playtronic. Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're a bunch of SJWs because they're kicking them out of the game. It's like funny, because you're the guys who are triggered by them making a nice PC statement about removing a voice actor.
Right?
Yeah. Who's the crybaby?
Yeah.
It's like, just get over it.
Like, since when does any of this shit honestly matter? Like,
it doesn't. People like to bitch.
Well, no, even at a certain point, like, look, and I'm probably gonna offend a whole lot of people here.
Uh-oh.
There's a good portion of you that believe in a giant invisible sky grandpa with a big fluffy white beard that goes by 10 rules that some jackass carried down a mountain a little over 5,000 years ago, right after they made man along with fucking people. Like, there are some people that hold some stupid ass ignorant, offensive fucking ideas. And you know what? They're otherwise perfectly pleasant individuals. Just about everybody has something that you will disagree with or that you will think is stupid. At a certain point, we all need to live and let live, which is what is
not if you're a Scientologist.
Fucking
that shit's dumb.
new puritanical lifestyle about the fucking left side. Like, quit being the morality police. If somebody wants, like George Carlin said, if two guys want to go home and take turns blowing their cat while hitting each other in the head with a ball peen hammer, good for fucking them. They're enjoying it. The cat certainly isn't complaining. So just let people fucking do what they want to do. I don't understand why you need to poke your nose into everybody's bedroom to make decisions based on their crazy ass viewpoints. I believe in the flying spaghetti monster. Doesn't mean I don't have rational viewpoints about other things.
You're worse, bro. You believe in PSVR.
Oh damn! Oh damn!
Damn, son.
I'll take it. I love me some VR. I still do. Say what you want.
Yo, Adam. Hold on. Just out in the open, right? Adam, tell Brett what you told us when I told you that he got a Switch.
It's gonna be in the same drawer next to his VR headset. You're gonna play it. You're gonna enjoy it for what you have for it, and then you're gonna realize there's nothing else.
But but Adam, if you look behind Brett to his left, you can actually see he's the
PSVR right there, baby.
Sitting there prominently.
That was prop for the show.
Brett is dusting that off every day, man.
Dude, that thing's been used less than a week ago.
By the way, Brett, did you play that Ghostbusters game that dropped yesterday?
No, I've been playing Zelda.
Yeah, there you go. No, dude, literally, I wrote a story yesterday about how there's a PS VR Ghostbusters game, and literally the headline across the land was like, What? Nobody knew the game was coming out.
Is it really a game? They said it's not even a half hour long.
No, it's like 10 minutes. It's like it's a typical VR type of game, But I just Sony dropped it without even letting people know
because they know that shit's not a game.
Dude, VR is in the same place that the PlayStation launched in. Like, they have titles coming this year. They have 3 or 4 solid-looking VR titles that are coming here that actually look like full-fledged fucking games / VR experience, but they're all in development. And it's the same fucking thing that happened with the PlayStation, because it seems to be, and maybe I'm just remembering it wrong from back in the day, being like, oh, I just rained with games back in the day when I bought a new system. But it seems to be you have your launch lineup and then you have to wait 4 or 5 months before anything starts to fucking come out. And VR seems to have a little bit longer timetable on it. So I'm still really excited about a few games that are coming out. And I'll be real pissed if they get shelved. I'll be real pissed if they get shelved.
I'll tell you one thing, though.
Would you get pissed if those games come and then when they get released, the VR drops in price?
No, I'd be fine with that.
Hey, I know what a VR game Adam won't be playing. Robinson the Journey. Nothing but dinosaurs in that game.
Oh, dude, I want to play that game. I want to play that game.
That game looks fucking awesome, man. But anyway, yeah, JonTron. I'll be honest. Me personally, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what he said. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't give a shit, I didn't even care about Yooka-Laylee until I got a review code for it.
Well, I honestly don't know what made them decide now to pull his.
No, because of that shit he said the other day.
No, the shit he said was, I know all the shit he said, but it seemed like more that there was this kind of ranting on NeoGAF and all this stuff, and then they decided, hell, we don't need this shit, so they pulled it.
Yeah.
Look, he could say whatever he wants. He could do whatever he wants, but there's consequences, right?
Yeah.
A company can do also whatever they want.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay, am I the only one that and I didn't hear what he originally said, but I did catch part of his apology video. It seems more like the guy's just fucking wackadoodle than more so than he is aggressive. He doesn't strike me as a particularly hateful individual. He just has some really weird, fucked up ideas that are not quite right. Let
me just get
realize that's offensive and stupid, right? I know you may not be you don't seem like you're coming from a place of hate. You just seem like you're ignorant as shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, actually, because I didn't see the original quote unquote offending video. I saw the apology video. I personally didn't hear anything that was offensive, but I just got the feeling that he isn't. Yeah, Brett, like you said, he's kind of ignorant.
He seems. I guess the big thing is he's under the impression that Mexican immigrants are setting up American enclaves to, kind of culturally take back parts of Mexico. It's integration is a difficult thing, and it's something that all immigrants, in my opinion, should strive to do. We're supposed to be a country of immigrants. We're all supposed to integrate together. So no, I don't think you're allowed to go and live in your own little part of town with, and have all the signs in Spanish, everything like that. Like everything, you have to put some shit in English. Like you have to commingle. You can't just come here and make it part of your country.
But they all do it. When I lived in Brooklyn and Shipshead Bay, it's
dude, I know, and I understand.
You have little Odessa not too far, and it's just all Russian stores with Russian signs, right?
Like that.
There are better ways to address that though than the way that he did. Saying Mexicans are setting up cultural enclaves in an effort to take back, like that makes it seem crazy. If you want to say we need to have a real discussion about integration of immigrants into the US and how that affects us as a culture, because having internal culture clashes is not necessarily good for us. And we need to really focus on having social workers that follow these people and make sure that they're immigrating, and give classes. Like my sister, one of the big things she did when she worked in academia was she dealt with transfer students that came from China, because there is a huge cultural shift, and she would have to do things like teach them about waiting in line and teach them about certain customs that we have, like when you say thank you, when you can accept a gift. Like people do things in different parts of the world. That's fine. You just need to make sure that everybody eventually gets on the same page. So if that's what he's trying to say, I totally get it. But you use the worst way possible to try and convey what I'm giving you with a huge grain of salt. Could maybe
but that's like not all he said. He said a lot of different things. He defended Steve King's comments about immigrants having children, that basically you can't rebuild white culture with other people's babies. That's what Steve King said about Syrian immigrants in Germany, and basically telling Germans like, hey, you can't integrate them into your culture because they're not white. And he was defending that. That's initially what got him in trouble. Then he went on a podcast and basically started spouting like he's just been reading Drudge Report and Breitbart, saying that wealthy black people commit more crimes than poor white people and all this other shit. Yes, what? This is like the Mexican enclave thing was just the tip of the iceberg to what he has said over the past few weeks.
Yeah, this guy's just fucking crazy.
I feel like
this guy's just fucking dumb.
In general, I've always gotten the crazy vibe from that guy anyway, and I just never really liked him. I just never cared for his comedy or anything like that. And I just feel like this is just all, now he somehow feels like he has he can say whatever the hell he wants and not affect his career. Obviously, a kind of a nutty person. He hasn't thought that stuff through yet.
Right.
But I don't think he has the capacity, intellectual capacity to understand that. I'm just going to be honest. This guy sounds like a fucking idiot, like a moron,
No, I would agree with that. He doesn't have enough venom to be, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, he's too stupid for that.
To hate himself. He's just regurgitating what other hateful people have said.
Yeah. Oh man, which may be even worse. But you're right.
No, that is definitely worse. That is being intentionally fucking ignorant.
Wow, man. Yeah, JonTron's a fucking dumbass. Like, holy shit. Like, if you're honestly saying this stuff, because you're right. If you at least knew what you were talking about, even as hateful as it was, that would at least be better than you just being a fucking idiot and just regurgitating other shit. You know what I mean?
Right? Well, here's the thing. If you're an idiot, or if you're not an idiot and you're hateful, most likely you have some sort of constructed argument where at some point somebody can point to and say, here's where you're wrong.
Yeah.
This is an idea that you take as assumption of fact, which is not assumption of fact. And then you can educate them and be like, oh, well, I guess maybe I should give transvestites or black people or fucking Martians another shot. Like it's I don't know.
I don't know how anybody took him seriously, even when the way his voice sounds like, "Hey guys,"
well, like, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just you can say any asshole thing in that voice, and my response is gonna be like, "Oh, you poor thing."
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
The Mexicans are taking over.
It's just one of those like, bless his heart kind of moments.
That's like the guy from the History Channel, Aliens. With the fucked up hair and shit. This guy's an idiot. Oh,
yeah,
well.
you're starting with
As-
a conclusion and working backwards. That's not how logic works.
As the Pathfinder of the Mexican enclave, I'll just want to say that we're already taking over. We're already taking over, man. We got Louis C.K. Louis C.K.'s infiltrated everything. And people think he's white, but he's actually Mexican. Go Google that shit.
Well, what was it? The whole thing that happened with Brady's jersey, that it was a Mexican reporter that stole it. Tom
Wait, what?
Brady's jersey.
No, what was the name of that chick that was always with Paris Hilton back in
Brady's
Nicole,
jersey.
Nicole something? What was her name again?
Oh,
Nicole Simpson.
That
Nicole-
bitch, she's Mexican too. Nobody talks about that.
Nicole Richie.
Nicole Richie.
Yeah, yeah, she was Mexican. She was adopted. You know.
Yeah, she was adopted.
You're right. They're
really
coming,
want-
man.
You really want to get rid of Jessica Alba?
It's 'cause it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. This is where I don't understand why people like get like all pissy from. Like, if you're gonna be and maybe somebody can explain this to me. If you're gonna be racist, and you're gonna be racist against a group of people, why are you going to pick a people who are known stereotypically for being hard workers who do quality jobs? Like, a lot of
That's
the
what they do.
stereotypes I know about Mexican are honestly they're kind of like, man, they'll fucking outwork you from morning to fucking sundown, and they're
For like
they're
2
sitting at the point.
cents.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing. They're doing a lot of them. These immigrants that come in, they're doing jobs that the people here just don't want to do. A lot of the farming jobs and early morning jobs, people just don't want to do it.
Yeah, go to most restaurants and the cook in the back.
Yo, man, you remember that one time? I think it was for your birthday. We went to this Italian restaurant full of Mexicans. You know,
Dude,
Yeah.
when I lived in Hawaii, behind the counter of all the restaurants, Mexicans, and I don't mean Mexican Americans. I mean fucking Mexicans.
Yo, they
Did not
swam
speak-
over there, son.
Did not speak English, did not have green cards. I'm like, how did you get to Hawaii? You had to get on a plane.
No, man. Listen, these motherfuckers swam.
Hey,
son.
you know,
Brett,
and
that wall's gonna help, right?
Yeah, right. They got
Yeah.
to Hawaii. The ocean didn't stop them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
And then it's like you go into a Chinese restaurant. Who's working in the back? It's a Mexican guy. So it's like,
Yo, he
come
looks
on,
a little
guys.
chinko though. You know.
He's like the owner of the place. He's like, oh yeah, this is my cousin Chino.
You know. Go ahead, Trump. Build that wall. You know the Mexicans, they just swim over to California, coming that way. They're coming, man. It's all good.
All that would happen would be like we could build a wall and take 12 years to do it, and within like 4 months, Mexico could build stairs the entire length of the wall, going up and down both sides, and it would be a
Mexicans
better
don't
quality.
play,
of the
son.
wall.
That's the other thing. It's like, by the time that wall is built, he will be in office.
Yeah, but let's not get too deep into politics. But
There's no wall. There's no wall.
JonTron's a fucking idiot. Anyway, let's move on here. Another follow up here. Again, we called this, and I'm pretty sure the Throwdown fans knew we were right. Colin Moriarty he's starting his own thing, his own political channel. Colin's Last Stand, I believe. He launched a Kickstarter for it on Tuesday. And by the end of the day, this dude, it was up to $37,000 fucking dollars.
I don't get it.
Yo, and it's up to 38. It's about to hit 39,000 soon.
What am I missing?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I
Tell
think
me, there's something else going on.
Adam, you were
money
using a conspiracy theory. I think now that he is, because this money is obviously not coming from a lot of his gaming audience. I think it's coming for the right and shit. The conservatives. I think they're backing him up now. So that's what's going on there. So he basically, like I told you guys, Mike, he's going to find a brand new audience. Again, what do conservatives want? They want young people to go out there and say,
well, that's the thing. It's
ass guys.
One thing to have the money get invested in a project. It's another thing to have the audience. Let's see when he launches if he even has any audience. Yeah, he has people that are funding him that believe in whatever he's trying to
I think right now a lot of money you're seeing is for support, but I think we'll know the real story in a few months after he's launched a bunch of videos and the audience really stabilizes. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a drop off at some point.
That's what interests me with the whole thing is that he's throwing his name as a brand in the front of it.
Yeah,
and he's going in a different realm. So that's why I don't know if it's going to carry over.
But it doesn't have to carry over with gamers, though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. So what's the point of adding your name?
Well, he's taking all. This sounds like taking a lot of self-righteous gamers and basically saying, hey, that flag you're carrying, we're going to do a thing just about that. Like, we're just going to ditch the whole gaming thing and go ride our high horses off into YouTube land and fucking make a channel about it. Like, I don't understand why so many people are interested in the political and historical ideas of a person who made their name in video games.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
It does make sense because let's just be honest. Colin Moriarty was probably the only prominent, conservative libertarian in the video game industry. There's probably
that's like asking what Chris Hardwick thinks about quantum physics. I don't think my left nut.
Yeah.
So how are you going to get
but the thing is,
serious people
Chris
in politics
doesn't
to get on and talk to
listen,
him?
Chris
and
Hardwick
your
doesn't go
background
on
is in
Twitter
video games.
talking about that shit. Like, Colin Moriarty was always tweeting about politics. He already
doesn't mean anything. He hasn't been working in it. And I'm just saying that big names, when they come in, it's like, all right, so let's say their publicist says, all right, he has a politician or someone who wants, it's like, all right, we're going to get you on this guy's podcast. All right, so who is he? Well, he, for the past 12, 13, whatever years, making video game videos and walkthroughs. And what the fuck are you talking about? Why am I going on this? You know what I mean? It just doesn't add up. So it's just going to be him skewing his point of view on things. That's what I think.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen.
This is what happens when a social justice warrior becomes enlightened enough that they can shed their gamer shell and become a truly political being.
But the thing is, Colin was never a social justice warrior. He was always against that sort of stuff. He was never that guy. He always
it's horseshoe theory. Like anybody who's one way to the side is gonna, whether you're all the way on the left or all the way on the right, you're still the same kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, I know what you're getting at, but he never struck me as like a political extremist. I didn't like his video game opinions very much, but his politics I always found like at least rational. He didn't.
So it was
like
for Gary Johnson. I remember he had the shirt on all the shows he was always wearing.
He couldn't bring himself to support Trump. So he always.
No, but I guess if you're hearing disdain in my voice, it's because I don't think a video game journalist has a place making comments in politics, even amongst like the idea of even if social norms or societal constructs and things like that. Like, yeah, I understand comic books and movies and video games. They reflect the real world and the issues that we're dealing with. We're supposed to present a choice to the player and let them decide. You are never supposed to lay down your politics. The second you do, I think that there's a problem. The only place that there's an exception in that is novels. Like novels, you say whatever the fuck you want. 1984, great fucking book. Everybody should read once, in my opinion. Novels are a great place to fucking say something if you're trying to.
Yeah, but hold on.
Or you can watch 3 adaptations in a row.
Yeah, but Brad, hold on. I got a serious question because maybe I'm reading what you said wrong. So you're telling me just because his career started in video games that he is not allowed to speak about politics or raise a career in politics? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying that he shouldn't have been speaking about politics in his video games. The question isn't whether or not I agree with the politics that you're interjecting.
He was just a journalist.
What's that?
He didn't make games. He is a journalist, and he never directly spoke about politics in his video games. He spoke about politics mostly outside of games on Twitter. Like, yeah, he did some videos where he spoke specifically about politics, but when he was doing a game review, he never brought politics into it. He always kept that out of it. Politics were always a separate thing, but it was also something he was very well known for. Again,
the only thing he did do is
conservative guy out there.
He did bring it to the channel. He did bring it to the kind of funny. That's the thing. He didn't have it in it, but he had his Colin was right, and he did a few other little Colin interview things. And
I mean, if you just want to diversify your brand, go in 4 different directions, and then pick up something that's successful, I can't fault you for that.
Yeah, and let's just be honest.
Just keep your fucking politics out of video games, no matter what they are.
But he never really did that. Some of the other guys.
Yeah, if he didn't, like I said, I'm not real familiar with this guy, so as long as he's keeping politics out of his video game stuff, like again, there's nothing wrong with that. You can build your brand 4 different ways. Pivoting is an essential part of any good business. So
Brett, I'm going to give you a perfect example, right? Everybody knows me as the video game guy. I make my career in video games, but what do I do a lot on Twitter? I talk about comic books a lot. So if I were to decide, hey, I'm just going to build a career talking about comic books, it wouldn't be too far out of my wheelhouse. I never really mix comic books into my video games. It's just a separate thing.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. It's those are parallel tracks that aren't necessarily converging and feeding off of each other. As long as you're not building an audience, bringing them in to talk about video games and then preaching politics to them, I ain't got no issue.
Yeah, no, he never did that. He spoke against that sort of stuff. He didn't like that.
More power to him then. It sounds like he's found a good niche for him. I don't understand why everybody's.
Just be honest. His career in gaming is done because, again, now that we're living in the environment we're living in, you can't have any sort of anything that's not left, you can't have those sort of views. So he was done in video games anyway. So it was a good thing he already was known for being a political commentator, because it's obviously going to work well for him. He can't get a job in video games anymore, unfortunately, because he made one little fucking joke that was like, it was a fucking married with children joke. It wasn't even offensive. You saw the tweet, right? He goes, peace and quiet, hashtag a day without a woman. That got him lynched, That's not even a fucking like offensive in any way.
That's literally a dad joke.
It's a married with children joke. Remember that shit?
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
I could get on my high horse right now and say I don't appreciate your cultural appropriation of the use of my last name in a derogatory fashion.
By the way, he spoke about that too. Like he took a picture of a bunch of Italian meats. He's like, I don't know if this is cultural appropriation, but I am half Italian, because he was making fun of people talking about cultural appropriation, making fun of them, I thought that was hilarious, because people were complaining.
Dude, anytime somebody gets on their high horse and uses the word lynch mob, I'm like, you do realize not only is that derogatory towards my people, that is specifically derogatory towards my family.
Yeah, that is true. Or are you offended that I used the word lynch? I could use a different word,
No, I don't give a shit.
But yeah, Colin, good for you, man. I hope you're successful. We'll see how much money you're making a couple months from now, But yeah, I think, if I were him, he already said this. He's going to move away from San Francisco. He should.
Yeah,
moving back to New York.
Get the fuck out. Yeah, get the fuck out of there.
He's
going to become the return as the pride of Long Island.
But I could see him going to DC though.
No, he's going to LA.
I think so. Yeah, I think Carlos. I think you're right about it, because he's been going to LA a lot, hanging out with Dave Rubin a lot.
He said he's moving to LA.
Oh, LA, damn. All right, if I were him, I would move back to Long Island, but whatever.
Long Island.
Yeah, there's nothing there. But DC, if once again the politics, DC is where it's at. So.
Yeah,
he'll probably get lost in that shit though over there. There's so many of those. There's so much politics in DC.
Yeah,
it could just be another piece of wood in a giant ocean.
But yeah, he said originally he was just going to do like just videos at home, but now that he's going to be making all this money, he's like, I could actually move out, buy a home, and build a studio there. Because originally he was just going to do shit in his apartment.
Well, let's first see how it takes off.
So essentially, it's going to be not kind of funny.
Yeah, it's not kind of funny.
Yeah,
Kind of Funny's already changed things up. They stopped releasing.
I find it funny that he's making more money than those guys.
Yeah.
Damn.
You find it funny that he's making as much money as Kind of Funny?
Yes. I find it kind of funny.
Because I never saw him as a key aspect of that show or the whole project. I thought Greg was. Greg knows.
Well, Greg is, but I think just like Jerry Lewis, you always need a straight man. You always need Dean Martin. So I feel like Colin, in his stiffness, he made for a good person for Greg Miller to be all like, all crazy off him.
But I will say this, I'm also glad he left, because let's just be honest, man. That guy really didn't seem like he cared anymore. Like he was just
always upset. Everything pissed him off.
Yes, it was just better that you do something that you're more passionate about, because it wasn't fucking games anymore. He was like, I only played an hour, I didn't like it. And I'm like, really, bro? All right, okay, let's get to it, man. Contest time. Man, you got the picture and the everything there. I sent you a YouTube link too.
It's a YouTube link. Okay, let me see.
For the song, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the image on screen, right? And the song playing behind it. So okay, Adam, do you want to give us
the images in the Dropbox, right?
No, it's not. Let me actually. I put it in Twitter. I'll throw on a Dropbox real quick. While I do that, Adam, give us a little bit about the game if you can.
Not giving shit. We gave too much last time.
Okay, so all you're gonna get is it's a Super Nintendo game.
Super NES game.
Came out in America.
In America. And that's it. I don't want to say anything, because if I start saying, it's this, it's that, people are gonna narrow it down. So
because these dudes got it real quick.
They got that one quick, and I think we just gave too much information.
Okay, so
hold on, I gotta set this up here. So you'll win another copy of Super Mario Brothers, how Nintendo conquered America, and it gives the history of Nintendo up until the Wii. Wii.
The Wii.
So who wrote this thing? Was this a guy who wrote a previous of this a similar book, or is it just Do you know anything about this guy?
Not really, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, this is,
Yo, man, you're doing some real research there.
I didn't do no research, man. Read the fucking book.
Tony, go deep.
Yep. Hey, just like that other guy who wrote the console wars, but I don't know about him. You know, he just knew his shit. All right, man.
You're like, who him?
Who him?
I think I'm on chapter 2 of that one.
That's a good book, man.
Was it the guy one of the guys from Sega just found the other guy at the beach in Hawaii?
Yeah, Tom Kalinske, yeah. Man, that book will piss you off by the end, man. Like, man, Sega, you fucked up, man.
Sega, we knew Sega fucked up. Sega had it in the bag.
They did, man.
I mean, it was theirs to win.
Like, man, cutting their legs off, you know. Like if they would have just let Tom Kalinske and Sega of America do their thing, that's because every time they listened to him, it all went right, you know.
All right.
Even told him like, don't put out that 32X. It's going to confuse people, you know.
So we got it up.
All right, let's do this, man. So here's a picture from the game. Manny, play a song. All right, Manny, go ahead. You kill it now.
We need somebody that can kick a freestyle. That's what we need.
That was nice. I like that fade out, man. I didn't want to play too long in case we get hit with something, even though I doubt we will for this fucking game, you know?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so as always, send your answers to me, Tony at thecoalition.com. That's the coalition with a K.com. Tony at thecoalition.com. Email me, and the first person that gets it right gets a copy of the book. You know, so good luck to everybody out there. So yeah, you don't get shit from us, man. Super Nintendo America, that's it.
That's it. I mean, come on, they got an audio file right there. So if they ever play the game, that should trigger something.
And that's like the first song in the game. So you know, hopefully it'll do it. And by the way, any of you guys who say this shit in the chat room right now will be disqualified. So don't do that shit. You know. Ooh, somebody said they know it. All right, my man, hit me up privately. You have me on Twitter. If you got it, hit me up right now.
Damn, that would be quick.
That would be insane if they got it, man.
That would be.
But that's gonna do it for us, man. So yes, so the quarterly report will be this weekend. I'll be on it. If any of you guys want to be on, let me know. Should be fun. So we're gonna cover the games that came out this quarter. It'll be our 3 mostly the games we like the most, and then the one disappointing game. But I think in our case, it may be disappointing hardware that came out, you know, because the games have just been fucking good, you know.
There's some very good games.
Okay, so let's end it off, man. Thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite show on the internet.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Rest in peace, Naruto.
Oh, shit.
Hey, what?
They killed him? What happened?
The last episode of Naruto Shippuden came out today.
Oh. All right, yeah, rest in peace then. Brett Murdock.
Yeah, I'm gonna break your pots. The fuck you gonna do about it?
You put a sticker on that shit?
Yeah, dude. I got the Zelda cover for it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And then I got on the back too. And it comes with a system cover too. And my screen protector has like the little Hyrule symbols along the side of it.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yo, man, you didn't want to make that look like a Sheikah slate?
It really is.
It does look like a Sheikah slate. All right, and Adam Vale.
Hey, keep watching Lucha. Now it's on Netflix. Everybody can watch it. We got the new on the Coalition. We got the wrestling podcast.
Yeah, man. WrestleCast, motherfucker.
Yeah, the WrestleCast. So we're gonna start going into some predictions and talk about some of the big news, like WWE buying Ring of Honor and a few other things that are happening. So it should be good.
Is there any independent wrestling left? They bought Ring of Honor.
Well, that's the thing that we're gonna bring up, because right now, from what we're hearing, is that WWE is reaching out to all indies. They're trying to buy up everyone. They want WWE Network to be like the one-stop shop for wrestling.
But that sucks, man. I used to go to
it's
Hammerstein.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, exactly. It does suck, and that's what we're going to talk about, because they're not going to pick up all those contracts.
No.
I mean, so then where are all these guys going to go? Go to Japan? Come on.
Yep. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time, man. Peace.
Be good. Yep, Saturday. Later.
Deuces.
Peace.
Peace.
Laters.